What up, party people? Happy Tuesday to you. I know it's late in the evening, but I'm coming to you live. I want to share some of my insight in the last month and a half, what I've been going with. I'm going to pump it up a little here before we get started, because I have to get some energy. Woo! Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday out there. Woo! Come on. What's up, Jason? What's going on, my man? We about to build an empire, my man. Playing this song to remind you, man, that it's gonna be alright. Things change, man. Things get better, man. No matter how far you fall down, if you're on your back, all you can see is up, man. What's up, Philip? How you doing? This is gonna be a good one, y'all. You might want to stick around for this. So, my name is Victor Glide Alicea, man. I live in Maryland. I'm a New Yorker, one of the first original B-boys. I'm finding out that I'm second generation now. There were people before me, and I love that. That's awesome. I got to meet some of them. But I'm super excited to be on here with you guys and share some of my perspective of what's happened with me over the last couple of months. You know, the thing about me is that I really care and I give a lot. And sometimes people's response to what I do, it floors me. So last month in the last 2 months, I've let my emotions and my feelings and trying to fix other people that don't want what I have. They just don't want it. And that's okay. Some people are just not ready to hear the things that I have to say, but I say it with love and kindness, and I try to support and help people as much. I mean, listen, man, I would take my shirt off and give it to you, and I know that most of the people who really know me, that they know that that's the kind of person I am. But I take it. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and sometimes, it's just overwhelming of how people just abandon you no matter what you do. No matter what you do, they just blame you. They dump stuff on you. They talk bad about you no matter how much you give. But I know better. I know better, and I know that I knew better. But for a little while, I let it get to me, because sometimes it's just too much. It's overwhelming. And I had to remind myself, I got knocked down a bit. It was just too much, too many people. I couldn't even believe some of the people that were treating me that way. No matter, especially with all the things that I've done for them. But you know what? A long time ago, I learned this, right? In my therapist, she said, "Who asked you to? Who asked you to?" I was like, whoa, what do you mean by that? He said, well, do you do that because people are asking you to do it, or you do it because you want to help other people? So remember that. If you're a given person and you work so hard to help other people and they don't really get what you're giving them, remind yourself, who asked you to do that? Are you doing that because you want something in return, or are you doing that because that's who you are? And that's what I am. I do things because that's who I am. But sometimes it can get very overwhelming. And I let that know. I let that happen to me. I let that sink in. I let that take over. It's like, damn, am I doing something wrong? What's wrong with me? And you start asking these bad questions. I worked really hard working on some people, building a team together, and running, and somehow everything went just crazy, right? And I was the bad guy somehow, no matter what I did. And I took that to heart. I took that to play. I was driving. I was pushing, and if I wasn't with somebody at one time, then, then you're not paying attention. You're not being a good leader and all. And I let that get into my head. But, things didn't fall into place for me. And that's okay. And I know that many of you out there can relate with this, right? Where you're just working so hard and there's so much negativity against you, riding on you. What's going on, Enrique? How are you? You know what I mean? Just you're pushing, you're supporting, you're helping, and it's not enough for other people, and you take it personal. Or you're building something that you just fall into wall after wall, nobody's supporting you, and it just gets harder and harder. I know that a lot of you guys can relate out there. You've been there, right? But and then I just sat down and I thought about it. And I flipped it and I said, what can I learn from this and grow? And that's the answer, man, the solution, man. I put things in perspective. I cannot control how other people think. I can't control how other people feel. I can only control, you know what I mean? I can only control what it means to me. And what it means to me is that I gave it my all. Maybe it wasn't good enough for some people. Maybe it was too much for some people. And that's okay. But I can learn from this. And that was what I put things, I stopped. I said, Victor, stop. Stop wasting any more time thinking about all of this. Stop wasting any more time trying to think and fix things that you cannot control. All right? Because events happen, guys. There are events that happen. Death, somebody falls out of love, a place can go on fire, you can be robbed, so many different things that can happen in life that are out of your control. And we sit here and we try to change these things that are not changeable. They're just not changeable. But what they mean to you, what death means to you. Does it mean, oh my God, I have to die too? This is awful. My partner is gone forever. Like, your partner would not want you to stop living. It just would not. I don't know any partner that would do that, that's selfish enough. I'm sure that, my partner, my wife, she sat there and said, take care of Layla. She said, take care of her. Have a life. Enjoy yourself. And she said, don't take my pictures down in the house. That's what she said to me. She said, I love you and I want you to live. And I did. And I know so many people that when their partners die, they die. They choose that. Instead, what I did is I have this little girl and this one time to get things right. I mean, I have two other kids that I've been with and done amazing things with as well. But I have this little girl that I have to get it right. And I freaking move my foot forward, man. And I can do that over that. I can easily stop thinking and feeling bad about other people that don't want what I have to give, which is a lot of love and a lot of support. That's what I have. You know what I mean? And so events happen, man, and we got to stop thinking that we can control a lot of these things. I'm about to lose my voice. So your response, man, your response is what you have control over. What does it mean to me? How can I learn from this and grow? And I've been saying this for a long time, but I figured I wanted to talk about it happening to me. It happens to us all. We start asking bad questions. What's wrong with me? What did I do wrong? Why do people treat me like this? All of that is garbage. Stop wasting your time. What can I learn from this and grow? All right? So you can't change those things, but I can change the way that they mean in my life. I have control over my perspective. All right? And so the question now is, where do I grow? Ooh. Did you hear that? Instead of where do I go? Where do I grow from here? Where do I grow? That's a beautiful question to ask yourself whenever you find yourself with a roadblock in any situation that you're working so hard to do. How can I benefit from this and turn it into my advantage for the next time? Not make the same mistakes over and over again, right? And it's just a setback. Let me get some hashtags, just a setback. Just a setback. So what do we do with a setback? You step back, it sounds like it, right? You step back in a setback and you reapproach. This one is locked down. This angle right here is shut down and you can't go any further down this road. But you can sure go down this road. One of the things that we need to learn in life is be flexible. Flexible in your approach to things. If something's not working, you don't quit, you try another way. Right? We all know Thomas Edison, 10,000 times mistakes until he got it right. right? So be flexible in your approach. Come back more prepared. Do a little bit more research. What happened here? What happened here? You know, you come back stronger and better, you know, and you buy time to dig deeper, right? And you push yourself. I end up pushing myself. Where do I push myself? To the next level. Bigger, better, faster. Perspective, right? And the world, and if the world and the people want to keep throwing problems at you, good. Bring it on, man. I'm ready. I can handle it. I've handled things before. I want more. Give it to me more. I want to be bigger, better, and faster. More prepared for life. I want to have all those failures make me incredibly supernatural, like crazy out there. Like nothing's going to stop me. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. You know what I mean? Just going nonstop and nonstop with all that I have in me, no matter what. What does this mean to me? My perspective, that's where it's at. That responds to any event that happened. Events, you know, buildings blow up, you know, so many different things happen, you know. You just have to have a better perspective. You know what I mean? And so we should be grateful. I just think that we should be grateful that in the country that we live, we have the freedom. We have the freedom to chase our passions. And we, you know, so learn from your mistakes. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep becoming the person that you want. Follow your dreams. Fight for them. Fight for them, right? Be flexible. When you get to that roadblock, go around it. Jump over it. Go underneath it. You don't have to go straight through. You know what I mean? You don't have to go straight through. And that's the difference maker. The difference maker is being flexible. Understanding that you don't break, you bend. You bend and you learn, you readjust, you become bigger, better, faster, stronger, more wisdom. You take the time to study what happened, what went wrong, and what can you do better? Where can you learn and grow? And listen, man, I do these lives, man, and one of the most important perks to me of doing these lives is after I do these lives, I get some, you know, some personal messages from people that just are grateful to hear this stuff, that to understand that they're not alone. And I inspire these people who sometimes, you know, I can't even express to you some of the things that they're going through. You know, maybe lost their entire family, you know, lost a leg or a limb or, you know, had a stroke or different things. These people that reach out to me and make me look at life from a different point of view. You know, these people with stories of survival and victory over defeat, continuous, no matter what's going on. You know, one thing happens and the next one, and they just keep going. And I'm reminded, and you should be reminded if you look around, there are people out there that would pay for your life. And yet we want to sit there and say how miserable we are. Our response is awful to the things that happen to us. We hold ourselves back. There are times that somebody leaves you and 50 years later, you're the one still talking and blending and making it worse because you haven't let go. All right? That's perspective. You got to put things into perspective. My problems pale to some of the stories that I hear, to some of the things that I see on TV. And it reminds me to keep going, to believing, you know, there's incredible things that people deal with in this world. And they, you know, listen, nothing can't be solved. Nothing can be solved, or at least made better. So if you find yourself in the midst of a bad event, something that doesn't really work for you, that's stopping you from going and moving forward, nothing is stopping you from moving forward. It's just a pause. It's a setback. So step back. Ask yourself better questions. What can I learn from this and grow? Where do I grow from here? Re-examine what's going on, man, and just restudy. Try again. Don't let it tear you down. Don't let one single, you know, obstacle tear you down, because that's what it is. It's an obstacle. It's a temporary obstacle unless you make it permanent with your thoughts, with your words. And we do that all the time. Because let me tell you something. When the dust settles, and the dust will settle, this too shall pass. It shall pass. You will find yourself with muscles stronger, with a new attitude, with more education, with more will to survive, with more will to continue to grow and be better. Okay? Because events are going to happen. Your response is the only thing that you can control. It is the only thing that you can control, your response. So take time to put it in perspective. Your response creates your outcome. Put everything into perspective. I love you guys out here, man. So happy that you guys showed up. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow, man. I'm going to do my best to be on here every day again. I miss it. I miss you guys. I'm super excited about supporting and encouraging people to be the best version of yourself. Victor Glide Alicea, coming to you live. Me and my bobbleheads are here. We're back. And I love you with all my heart. Have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. I lost my voice. I'm super excited. It's gonna be alright, man. With change in perspective. Look at life and all the things that other people that are worse off than you. Put life in perspective. Continue fighting. Be flexible in your approach. Push through the obstacles. It's not a dead wall. It's an obstacle. It's a setback. Step back. And let's pump it up, everybody. Here we go. Love you guys, man. Have a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. God bless you. It's gonna be alright.